Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to sublimate a tumbler without using shrink wrap. All you need is your tumbler, your design, and your heat tape. Okay, so my design was printed out in 9.3 by 8.2, and I got these tumblers from Conde. So what you're going to do is take your tumbler, center it on your paper, and then you're gonna wrap it as tight as you can around your tumbler to where the paper meets. It's like tight, like almost feel like you're ripping the paper tight, so that they touch. And then we're going to use our tape and wrap the whole thing. Now, don't judge me. I don't have my tape dispenser yet. I'm getting one. Just haven't gotten it yet. So, I'm just going to go ahead and pre-cut some strips of tape to make it easier when I start wrapping the cook. And I do these at 360 for 6 minutes, and I rotate them after 3 minutes because of the size I have. I can't stand them up. But with the oven that I have, I don't know if it's just the one that I have or if that's the thing with that brand, but it's hotter than what the thermometer says, if that makes sense. So with this, you want to, like I said, make it extra tight, like feel like you're about to rip the paper, because you want them to touch and not leave like a little white space in between. And get your tape. And you're gonna pull your tape extra hard as well. And I always start in the middle to make it easier to add the other ends. So I do one in the middle, and then I go to my outside edge piece on each end and do one on there. Okay, like I said, pull it as tight as you possibly can. You don't want to have any loose spots. Okay, do the same on this end. Extra tight. Okay, then I'm gonna go through and put more on each section that's left. All right, so now the middle seam where the paper meets it, we're gonna put 2 pieces of tape across there to make sure that it's laying completely flat. And again, pull it as tight as you can and flatten the paper out while you're doing it. Okay, then I'm gonna go back over it with another piece. Okay, now you feel around the cup, make sure you don't have any loose pieces. Now we're gonna go around the ends of each, the bottom and top. Okay, so get your tape. Put it right at the edge. You're gonna pull it tight to where you see the paper starts to buckle. Okay, and pull about halfway, and then start pushing the tape down. Okay, I'm gonna need another piece of tape. And wrap it completely around it, but it's not gonna be taped completely in one little spot. So I'll cut a piece. Okay, so your bottom should look like that. Now we're gonna do the top. Same method. Get your tape. Put it right at the edge. And pull it tight. You want it to start buckling. And then you want to push down in there. If you see any pieces, I don't know if you can really tell how it's kind of like short right there. I'm just gonna go through with another piece of tape so it doesn't start to come up when it starts to heat. That's fine, but right there we'll put a little more. Okay. So again, if you have any pieces that look a little too short, just go through with some more tape, because you'd rather use extra tape to make sure it's completely down versus not using enough and then mess up your cup and have to remake the cup, because these cups are not cheap at all. So I don't like how that's laying. And you can also, I'm gonna show you another way you can do it. If you take the tape, instead of going around like this, you want to go this way. And just tape it. Now, doing the shrink wrap method, you do still have to use tape, but you don't have to use as much because the shrink wrap is going to close it, you know, make the paper tighter. Versus the tape, you know, you're trying to make sure you have enough on there to put the pressure on it. Because the sublimation ink is going to heat up and like press to the cup with heat plus pressure. So you want to make sure that the paper is completely wrapped to it. I'm gonna do one more little piece. And then also check your temperature and make sure that it's okay before you put it in. You don't want to burn your cup, and you don't want to have it too low either, because then your design will look faded. Okay. Put this piece right here. All right, so now I have it completely covered. So next what I'm gonna do is put it in the oven. Set my timer on my phone. I do 3 minutes on one side, and then I'll rotate it and do another 3 minutes. So, as you can see right here, it looks like my temperature is set at like 325. But if you look at the thermometer on the inside, it's like right at 360, around 360. That's why I say to make sure you use an oven thermometer to make sure, because if I set it on 300, like the 350 or 360 to where I needed it, it would have been like 400 degrees and it would have burnt my cup. So just make sure when you're doing these to get you one of those. They're at Walmart for like $5 or $6. And that's a lot cheaper versus wasting $10 on the cup from burning it. So when I put my cups in, I do the seam side down just so I know where to rotate it to. So since the seam is down on the rack, when I go in 3 minutes to rotate it, then I have the seam on the top. So it is done. I have my heat gloves, which are too big, but I don't put one on this hand just because it's easier for me to take the tape off without the glove on since I can't feel them. So I just start with the middle seam, peel it off. All right, and then I go through, lay that on there. I go through and pop each piece of tape. I like to go ahead and take the paper off as soon as it comes out so that it doesn't start sticking to the cup. That's why I use this thing to just pop it off, because of course I can't just peel it off with my hands, it's too hot. Okay, now for the reveal. Tape inside the cup. And that is, hold on. How cute is this? I'll give y'all a better view once it cools off. But this is so freaking cute. Oh my gosh. I need to keep this for myself. It's for an order, but I may be making myself one. Do any of y'all have that problem? You make something and then you're like, dang, I want to keep this for myself. And then you go and make yourself one. And you end up with a whole bunch of things that you don't need because you want them after you make it for somebody.